Good afternoon. How are we going on this crazy, let's say, weekend and in this crazy uncertain time? I'm just going to share this to the group, the supporting groups where we have a lot of followers and leaders. I don't like to say the word followers, but you guys know what I mean by that. I see you guys all as amazing leaders and everyone on the equal. How do we get back there? So just as everyone's starting to plug in, I'm just going to turn this down a little bit, otherwise I'll be screaming. Just let me know where you guys are plugging in from and how, if we've connected before, if you have been on one of the live coachings before as well. And this one I'm being motivated for. I've had a couple of my VIP clients over in Hong Kong, Malaysia and the US. And a lot of the thing that was coming up, the words, was about mindset and really, a lot of people, they say they understand mindset, they know what they're talking about, they know where they're going, but really at the end of the day, it's a word that we just, put all these letters together and make a noise saying mindset, but we really truly don't believe what we're actually saying. So let's make sure that we get this nice and clear for today. All right, let's get the party started. Alicia and everyone else that is going to be jumping on here today. So I'm going to just get so I can see the questions that pop up here. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. We'll get nice and set up. All right, let's do it. How is everyone? San Marco, how are you, sister? And everyone else that is getting on, sending everyone peace, love, and whatever you guys need. So I know it's a crazy time at the moment now with the lockdown started again, and everyone's rights getting taken from them, freedom. There's fear and all the rest of it. So let's apply these teachings. Let's not focus on what's happening at the moment and allowing our environment to condition us. Let's focus on where we want to be, because one of the things I was teaching in my live with my team on the weekend, or sorry, it wasn't on the weekend, during the week, before the weekend I should say, was understanding the powers of beliefs within. Because what is happening is that our belief system now, we're leapfrogging into the future of what we think we need to be believing to, that to have the body, to have the career, to the business, the relationship, the family. And the thing is, we're taking ourselves out to what we must believe or what we think we believe, and we don't even have the results yet. And we're taking ourselves out to that future, but we're not actually being mindful about what we are constantly thinking about, how we're feeling, what is the belief system, our behaviors and actions right now. We're not spending enough time to realign what we have now is now. If you've read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, it's all about, we are worrying about what happened last week or with our ex and the pain and the breakup. We're not spending enough time to make sure that our values and our beliefs are all connected or strong enough right now for the future. Then we've got this whole thing about, what we think we need to be believing, or allowing the environment to condition us, which, there's the lockdown, you're going to get a fine, there's fear, there's there's scarcity, there's uncertainty. And all these things that we lose what we truly will need to be believing in. Yeah? A lot of people are saying, work on your mindset. One of the things you need to understand is the words that we say, there's words that are going to allow us to, to feel in a peak state. And there's also going to be words that our body and our mind, our nervous system, our atomic nervous system, our energy, our vibration does not even get influenced a tiny bit for us to want to take the required action to change our lives. So one of the things is, I was saying to my clients that I've coached, there's 2 clients that I've coached this morning for the last 2 years, yeah? And these 2 clients have probably, say, 3,000 people under them in numerous businesses. So, they've been in the business game and entrepreneur for the last 30, 40 years, which is my whole lifetime. And I coach them on advanced mindset, and obviously being that person that they can decompress to. And it's not just therapy or someone they can just, talk to. It's about having that transformation. Hey, Kate, great to have you all the way on from Boston, and Carol, thanks for the support, and everyone else that's jumped on here as well. And the interesting thing that we came up with was the analogy and the metaphor of mindset. What is mindset? When you say mindset, you know, when someone goes, I want to work on my mindset, like you see the TV now, or, you know, with the coronavirus, work on your mindset, a clear mindset, be positive. But what does it really mean? So many years ago, I wanted to do the experiment where you hook your brain up, you hook your body, your nervous system, you can see your electromagnetic field, you know, it's called an EGC machine. I don't know, electro something. And when you say certain words or focus on certain people or memories, that your brain, the brain activity is going to increase in a manner that's going to serve you, or decrease, which is going to stimulate, your body to secrete the certain hormones, for your body then to, your mind to secrete the certain hormones, success hormones, for you to feel in a way empowered, motivated, confident, whatever the words you want to use, for you to take the required action. The reason why most people are still not getting the whole mindset thing, the mindset game down pat, because when you talk about mindset, what does it really mean to you? You know, if a few of you want to, share your options or your feedback on what mindset is. And the thing was, one of my spiritual teachers, or my spiritual, let's say spiritual warriors on my journey, they always share the thing about mindset. When you say your mind is set, then what you're actually saying to yourself, there's no room for growth. My mind is set. I'm set in the programs, I'm set in my programming, my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs, my actions. But when you start shifting the energy and the awareness of, instead of saying mindset, higher consciousness, mind development, my mind expansion, my mind growth, mind success, even saying those words, even me saying it, I feel differently. Mind expansion. It's putting and setting me the intention of, expanding my mind. You really need to get this. If you get anything, take anything away from this, from this interaction, I want you to, I know you guys will take a lot away, but I want you to make sure that you get this. That I don't want you to say words. I want you to have such an empowering, unstoppable, unshakable connection with the words that you are using. What's one of the biggest things I always say, if you've been following me for a while, I always say most people are out of their minds and they don't know what they're talking about. Not that they're crazy, that they're actually out of their mind. They're not doing the internal work where everything starts and ends. Because the world around us right now is not how it is, it's how we see ourselves. So if we want to become bulletproof to all this stuff that's going around us, and the environment and the toxic people, and the uncertainty and the coronavirus, it's doing the internal work, because the world isn't how we see it, the world is how we see ourselves. So if we're saying, the coronavirus is making me bored, it's giving me bad habits, it's giving me a bad mindset. No, that is you allowing yourself to be infected and affected, infected internally and affected on the outside by what's happening. And I know a lot of people that in this time, they've grown exponentially, they've grown advancement. I know a lot of people in this time that have really hit rock bottom because they haven't done the work of understanding that the world isn't how it is, the world is how we are. The world isn't how we see it, the world is how we see ourselves. So knowing that, it's not some little catch meme or, little cool word that you can post up, I look at it every day, but I don't fucking believe it or connect with it like most people do with their vision boards and goals. It's about understanding and looking at that. When you're looking at that and connecting with it is, becoming it. Such a great point. Growth mindset is actually contradictory. Yes, I love that. Growth mindset, beautiful. It is. When you say growth mindset, it's like growth and then the mindset. You want to be growth, mind growth or whatever it needs to be. So 100%, that's mind expansion, mind development, because you're talking about that. The other thing that I want to talk about as well, that, we have this opinion, or we have this egotistic understanding of self of, I'm working on myself. I'm in personal development. And I ask certain people about, okay, you're working on your mindset. All right, so your mind's already set, and then are you finding it hard to change? Yes, I am. Because, okay, if something is already set and you keep saying it's set, then it's going to be very hard to set. It's like concrete. You know, hey, Dave to the max. I was just about to, Dave's a concreter. And, you know, after that, the concrete slab is set, it's very hard to change anything because it's already set in its ways. It's hard. We all know that. So when we do that, our mind is, okay, remember certain words that we've been conditioned over time, that they are either going to give us that path to a new existence, that path to that new part of us, that new journey, that new level, that new shift, or we're just going to go in circles, yeah, and put a lot of time and effort. Oh, it's not working. It's, you know, the stars aren't aligning. It's you, Lee. No, it's me. It's my husband. It's my wife. It's the, you know, it's the people from the other side of the world. It's the ex from 10 years ago, and we start playing the blame game, yeah, because we're in, oh, I'm cursed. I can't change. Or let's just go back to our comfortable spot and I can hide because, you know, I don't have any feedback at the moment to change, and, you know, things are okay. But if I go back to my comfortable spot, then I don't need to get uncomfortable to become comfortable. So let's look at a few strategies that, you know, I see a lot of people that are using these new labels, even the way they're talking. It's very airy fairy and higher consciousness worrying, quantum this and quantum that and this, that. There's all these terminologies getting thrown around, and you know, people that are doing a lot of this breath work and changing this, and, you know, using all these mushrooms and all these biohacks, and it's great. But what I want to get at, that you're never ever going to be peaking. You're never going to be on that descent of growth. Life is a journey up and down. But what I would like to see people do and be is get away from posting things and this and that, and everyone's wonderful, and we sing Kumbaya and we run around and do this and look at the moon and look at the, you know, rainbows and stuff. That's all cool, but have that focus point of believing it, but live it. Do you know what I'm saying? Live it, because it's very easy for people to say, well, I'm a higher consciousness warrior or princess or goddess. I'm into the quantum development, and I'm into this and I'm into that. And the thing is that, you know, I want to see what these people are at, because obviously their growth and their journey really inspires me. But then I will watch a video, or because anyone can hide behind a post and whatever in a photo. But when I look at a video of somebody and you go to connect, all that distraction or that mindset behind it, they're on a completely different level. So what I would say to everybody, it doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 5 seconds or 50 years, is understanding and be very mindful of the words that you're using, and not just using the words because it's cool, it's the right thing, it's, you know, it's the thing that it sounds better, or people are going to respect me more from it. Is you actually using words that you connect with, that you're inspired about, that empower you as an individual. Because I never have, look, I've got no notes. Look, you can see I never have notes anywhere. I was doing a little bit of board work before. But the thing is, what you need to remember is that I will do this video because I was inspired by the shift that I got with my clients this morning. That, you know, their conversation, I have conversations with hundreds of people around the world from even before I get out of bed, after I do my meditation or my success priming, or even before I do that, I was sending a lot of, you know, loop ends, and, you know, doing a lot of teachings from even before, you know, I got out of bed. And the thing that I want to say to you guys is, it's about tell the world nothing and show yourself everything. Yeah, it's more about that deep understanding of being able to be shifted. Like, you know, I can talk to you guys and be able to relay messages to you in a way that's you're still going to get. I'm not just talking to your head. I want to talk from the heart, because when you talk from the heart, it's felt in the heart, and that's where you get your shift. Because in the mind, we have all the limiting, we have the energy, we have you know, the limiting beliefs, and it's more like this. That, you know, when you're going to tune in a channel and you haven't got your channel, the channel in the right place, and you get that static. That's like, you know, if we're not constantly working on our minds, what we're going to be getting or not getting. So I want you to be very mindful about, be very aware of the words that you were using, and the belief system, the undercurrent of that word that you're using. Is it empowering you enough for you to take the physical action for you to be able to shift your reality by the way you think, by the way you feel, and how you act? By constantly programming is visual. It's the, you know, the scientific model of meditation is mind rehearsal. mind rehearsing the life you want, which is going to give you the thoughts or thinking about the life and desires is going to make you and allow you to feel, for you to feel the certain way, because now your mind and your body is starting to integrate, it's starting to interlock. So your mind will start to have the visualizations for then your body to secrete the certain hormones, which the chemicals and hormones are, I think there's about 55 different ones for allowing your body to feel, for your body to become the subconscious mind. And when your body feels, then you create a belief system, an unshakable belief system, because of right at the start of you having that first mind rehearsal. Then your belief system is going to be the game changer, because this is all in your internal world. Then when you go to your external world, you have your attitude, you have your behaviors, you have your actions, where you're taking efficient, and it's very efficient and accurate action that you're going to, like I remember when I started working with my coaches and other people, it's like what you touch turns to gold. You must be lucky. What I've believed and what I understand now, there's no such thing as luck. Yeah, there's no such thing as what you turn to gold, is because they've done the initial internal work, that they're programming their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, their efficient behaviors, and their empowered and efficient actions. They have already finely tuned their internal world. So when they take the action, they have to take a little bit of action. It's so aligned and so empowered, and they receive that result. If you look at the other, say 87%, or sorry, even 97% of the world, that our internal world, we haven't spent enough time of, firstly, we're using words that we don't know, our mindset and higher consciousness and quantumness and blah, 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 and meditation and all that, but we aren't really believing, aren't understanding. More importantly, we aren't practicing the words that we use enough. We're using the words, we're putting the posts up, we've got the mimes, memes, whatever they're called. We're using, we've got the crystals, we've got this, we've got that. We're putting all these things up that's creating our identity. But where there's a massive where there isn't an interlock, where there needs to still be integration, where there's an out of alignment epidemic, that a lot of people are putting out these ideas and these wants and these purposes and these, let's say, facades, but aren't truly spending enough time to get themselves, get their mind and their body to be interlocked, to be integrated, to be empowered enough for them to take the efficient action. The internal world have done that work. They're not just saying words. They're not just, putting things up or labeling themselves or doing this. And then when they're sitting down in the chair, the lights are off, the cameras are off, the music's off, and the dust has settled. They're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, yeah, I put in all this energy, I put my posts up, I create my videos, I'm doing this, I'm building a brand, I'm doing this job, this is my identity to the universe, this is how I present myself. But once they're sitting there and they're getting to, you get to that deep understanding of yourself and you go, well, hold on a minute. You know what's interesting? That I don't actually know what I want. I don't know who I am. Because it's very easy to take action, and you need to understand this. I was saying this to my clients who are huge executives, and they've got a lot of people under them, so they've got heavy shoulders, they've got big responsibilities. Yeah, I say heavy shoulders because they've got everyone's weight, bearing down on them. And the interesting concept, what I'm going to share with you, is that they were taking action. They were taking all these actions, getting burnt out. They're not connecting with their relationships, their marriages, their children. They're not being aware of the child's needs, not connecting with the leaders of the organizations. I'm burping and saying organizations at the same time. Sounded like I was about to throw up on myself. And what's happening is, then I say, I want you to slow down to speed up. I want you to slow down to become empowered. I want you to slow down to be focused. I want you to slow down to be mindful. I want you to slow down to be powerful and grounded. And that's something that I always get remembered and reminded and remembered. I remember myself, but reminded by others that it's not what we're doing. It's how we do it. It's how we feel. It's what we're connecting with, because we can get caught up with the doing. We can get caught up with mindset, but what the fuck does it really mean? We can get caught up with, this is good and I'm healing and I'm going to do these things. But what happens is we're taking this action, what we feel like it's a good idea, and I was saying this in my paid group on Tuesday, my private group, that what we need to understand is our beliefs right now, our belief system, how we're believing in our health, in our wealth, in contribution, in family legacy, relationship with self and others, and our passion and purpose. Is our belief system right now strong enough and allowing us to grow in the journey? Or are we caught up in a little bit of ego, what our belief system should be for what we want in our lives, what our relationship should look like, what our self-care relationship should look like, what our body needs to look like, what our health goals, what our wealth goals, and we before we know it, what we're thinking and believing now and what our belief system now is not going to support us from where we want to be, who we want to be with, and the person and the woman, the man and woman that we desire to be in a month's time. Because my coach gave me a realization. He said, Lee, what your belief system now and what you're saying, what you're creating a world around now is what you want. It's not what you are actually present and control of. And I said, oh, hold on. He goes, no, let's break it down. What is your belief system right now in all your life areas? And I kept shifting. We get conditioned to the belief system that we think we must believe now to be where we want to be. What that creates is an uncontrollable detachment. So what I mean by that is that we're getting caught up and thinking we know what we need to believe right now, but that's not going to support us for the future because we don't even have the results. And what we need to understand is what we have right now is what we can control. What happened just then, I picked the glass up, I put it down, the cup, and I can't go back and change that, yeah? Now, and what we're doing is we get caught up with, the past, this person did this to me, that, the healing, the pain. I'm not saying block it out, but how can you bring that learning into your present belief system now? Because again, we get caught up too much in the doing, get caught up too much in the mindset. We get caught up in too much in the change and this and that, and we're not connecting with the meaning. We're not being so present that we're mindful of the programming, because we are getting programmed consciously, what you can see, and unconsciously what's happening behind closed doors. We are getting, we want to be understanding that our thoughts connecting to, and are our thoughts supporting who we are today, that we commit to in the journey. Because what happens is most people lose themselves in relationships, lose themselves in careers, lose themselves in groups, lose themselves in the journey and process to bettering themselves, because they're taking action, but they're not staying strong to who they choose to commit. You want to go back every day, and you want to go back to yourself, and you want to ground yourself, and you want to be committed to who do I choose to become in the process, not what Lee tells me, or Tony Robbins, or Joe Dispenza, or whoever, Gandhi. Yes, that is our journey. Yes, that is us sharing information, helping you, with your blind spots and giving you a different awareness and consciousness and knowledge. But who do you, as a man, as a woman, choose to become during the journey? Because that's going to realign you, because we're always, I want to be this and I want to have that. It's always these wants and haves, but we're not actually grounding ourselves and creating moments and experiences now. And more importantly, is our belief system, which is the interlock from our inner world to our outer world. It's the interlock that is whatever the work you are and the representation that you've created in your inner world to your outer world. Your belief is what interlocks these two worlds. Yeah, a belief is something that you constantly think about, which you are perceiving as being true, but is not actually true. It's something that you are believing. You're creating your beliefs. And if it's something that is supporting you and your growth and moving you towards your goals, then fantastic. Because you don't need to believe what society is telling you to believe. You don't need to believe what your girlfriend's telling you, or your boyfriend. You don't need to believe what your parents tell you to believe. You need to be very mindful about, if you're creating that, if you've got a very disruptive inner world, then that interlock, the beliefs aren't going to be fantastic. That's interlocking you out to your outer world. And the thing is, the outer world is the world is how it is. We don't see it for that. We see it for how we are. So if we want to see a better outer world, if we want to experience better everything, then it's the internal. It's the internal time of us, the mind rehearsal, of being mindful about the thoughts, because the thoughts are going to create our mind to allow us to secrete I like to call it the mastery chemistry, you know, the hormones, the chemicals to make you feel that way. And when you are feeling that way, your body becomes the subconscious, your body becomes the memory, your body becomes, you know, your body remembers that. Then that's going to create a belief system that, you know, yes, there are good people. Yes, I can do what I desire. Yes, you know, I'm in control of my life. The government don't do that. Yes, I'm not in fear, or whatever it might be, but it's doing the work. And if the hardest thing about this whole energy exchange this evening is doing the work, is switching off from being distracted, from, you know, thinking that you have to reply back to everybody that messages you, getting on social media, you know, being busy. Oh, I'm missing out. I need to do this or I need to do that. Is stopping and doing the work. Because when you can actually, and this is a big lesson to me. You know, I've got a lot of friends, I've got a lot of associates, I've got a lot of, you know, people coming in and out of my life. And I really found it hard. And this is the longest time that I've lived by myself. You know, being 40, running multiple companies, having people all around the world and doing some really cool things, and then used to traveling every 2 weeks and not being able to do that. It's been hard. You know, even my 40th birthday, I thought I was going to be in Vegas or Bali. And I didn't even, that was the lockdown. And I was in my apartment sitting there on the couch by myself. Didn't even have my beautiful little puppy because my ex has taken her away from me for some, whatever reason it is. But I can't sit there, feel sorry for myself and, hey, I've still got an amazing life. I've still got, you know, amazing potential. I've still got amazing businesses and amazing people in my life. But what it is the belief system is not allowing these, you know, some things that we can't control to affect us, and being actually present and aligning yourself to say, hey, my mindset, what is my mindset? You know, it's my mind development. It's my mind expansion. It's my mind consciousness. It's like if someone says, how do you do that, Lee? You know, people that we do the coaching, it's our success priming in the morning. It's writing your life into existence, which is journaling. It's higher consciousness learning. I've always got, you know, podcasts or videos, my books. You know, I'm always learning something every day. Throughout the day, don't just be unconscious, incompetent and being a zombie. Realign yourself. Realign of, okay, what am I allowing in my mind? What am I rehearsing on? What am I focusing on? Are my thoughts supporting my feelings? Are my feelings and the rest of it supporting my beliefs? What am I believing right now about myself, about this person, about everything in my consciousness? Yeah, then how am I behaving? Am I behaving efficient? Am I allowing myself to be affected? Am I being emotional? Yeah, and people are going to go, Lee, how can you fit all this in? It starts to become like a habit, yeah? But it's a 2% every day. You don't need to be going, you know, oh, what did Lee say? And you're walking across the road and you get hit by a car. You're not becoming unconscious incompetent. You become unconscious competent. All of these success strategies is like learning when I'm doing my Muay Thai, you know, you're blocking and you're moving and all that. When I first started, you know, he would just throw one punch and it hit me in the head straight away, because we're getting that interaction of how we're being able to, you know, mind and hand coordination, a lot of different other subtleties through that as well, okay? So that's the thing that I want you to be very mindful. Stop using words that you aren't even connected with and start taking action that actually is empowering you, because the thing is, when I see people, they put out these big posts or these memes and they've copied it from somewhere else or it's their own work. What I look at, if I know these people in certain ways and I connect with what I'm looking at and what I'm connecting with, but more importantly as well, is how are they living it? You know, you can feel people's energy. If someone's saying, you know, I'm a leader, I'm this, I'm solid, I'm, you know, and you might have a restriction of, I don't know what it might be. There's just, you can just see everyone's going to be, you know, have strengths and not so strengths, but you can see people that, you know, they want to have balance. One of the things as well, you don't need to be a Gandhi, you don't need to be an expert in all life areas, but where I like to see people about what they're putting out and what they've got, that they've got some results in all areas of life. Yeah, because if you have that foundation, if you have that mindset, if you have that internal, mind development or mind expansion, higher consciousness and whatever it might be, an open mind. If you have a base to that, if you have an understanding to that, then the exciting thing about that is that you are going to have some results in all areas. If you don't, and it's just, you're a good talker and you're a good presenter, then the thing with that is that you aren't going to be able to have that in all life areas. You might have it in, it's great making money because you're just telling people what they want to hear. Or, it could be in another area. But what I like to really see that people that are really congruent, living authentically, and actually doing the internal work, that has an open mind, that you're going to be able to apply that awareness, knowledge, higher consciousness, higher awareness in all life areas. Have some results in there. You don't need to be a sports model or a bodybuilder, but you're looking after yourself. You have your health goals. You have that awareness about what you're putting in your body and how important exercise. You don't need to be a millionaire, but you are successful because you are of high value and you're putting your value into people's lives and getting the results, which is proven. Results, don't lie. Contribution, that you are offering contribution and not just saying, okay, I'm going to give you something, then I'm going to sell you always at the end, or 1 second of my time it needs to be paid for. Is contributing, is giving things of service to others without wanting something back. Relationship with self, that's always going to be a journey. You can't be saying preaching but you're not practicing it yourself. Relationships with others. Do you have relationships with other people, or you're not, and so on. Your passion and purpose. Are you doing things for a business, or are you living in your passion and purpose, which most people can't say they are? And that's one thing that I really started from, is that I want to be living my passion and purpose, and then I will sharpen up everything else as I go. And my passion and purpose is sharing my knowledge, my journey, my life experience, my street experience. Yeah, anyone can go and do a life coaching course. Anyone can go do an NLP master practitioner. Anyone can go and do this and do that and become a healer and do all these things. But it's about you doing that and living that over your life and getting the results over and over again. You coming up to a challenge and breaking through that. And then throughout the time, not just having one or two, is having thousands of people that you've also impacted their lives as well. That's my feedback, and that's my understanding of mine expansion and the journey, and someone that I would like to have led me or was leading me that has that. My coaches have been doing, what they do, living in their passion and purpose, 50, 60 years, 40, I've only been doing it for 12. So, I've got a long way to go, and I'm really excited where I'm at. So, but more importantly, guys, my message from my heart to your heart today is stop getting distracted on the posts, the words, the colorful bright lights. More importantly, you sitting there and if a word that you feel like you use a lot that you're disconnected with, is sit there and write it and then break it down. What does it mean to you? How does it make you feel? And go deeper, chunk it down, go deeper until you feel it's like you have an emotional orgasm. It's like, oh my God, and you got tears, and it's like, that's the word. I say this, but I mean this, and feel that. That's the key right there. Kate goes, and not just finding time, do the work, but becoming that identity. It's not finding time, it's making the time. Like today I had my appointments. Today, a couple of the boys, we've got a few things happening. I made the time today to rock this out. I wanted to be about half an hour. I've got my appointments, running to the gym, doing this. When I say running, because it's finish here, go there. Dinner tonight with a beautiful friend. So I'm looking forward to that and getting everything, and spending my day of how I want to feel. So hope that added massive value, guys. It's nothing to do with mindset. Be mindful about the words that you're using. You don't live a life out of your mind. Live a life in divine. So what that means is, out of your mind is not getting distracted, living a life of divine, connecting, being mindful about how you're feeling. Go within more to live a life that you see. Remember, the world isn't how we see it. The world is how we see ourselves. Have an amazing day. Rock it out. If you want to know more about this, as you guys are sending me a few messages, and not a problem at all. Take care. Much love. I'm Lee Bundy, the CEO of the Ultimate Flow Experience, the FlowX Project, and Beast Mode International in the house. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your contribution. More importantly, thank you for just being you. Take care, guys. Bye.